Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session designed to promote confidence and courage, mainly those for people that have anxiety related to bugs and insects and creepy crawlies. And I've worked with a lot of people with very intense phobias. But one of the most common phobias tends to be either spiders or bugs. And there's two main reasons for that. One, it's less about the perceived threat that they are a danger. Most people with a fear of bugs don't really feel like they're going to be injured or hurt. So it somehow feels irrational. The actual cause of the anxiety generally is based on how they look, how they move, and how close they are to the individual. And therefore, because the movement of them and the shape of them and the look of them, particularly if they are in close proximity, causes anxiety, that then leads to a coping strategy of a vigilance, always checking, and avoidance, trying to keep away from them. And you can understand that it comes from a good place because for certain phobias, avoiding them works. You know, a fear of clowns, for example, if you have a fear of clowns, thinking where clowns might be and then not going to that place, not going to the circus, not going to a horror movie that has a clown in, actually works as a strategy. But the reason it doesn't work with bugs is because of all the creatures that exist on planet Earth, and I forget the exact stat, but I think it's something like there's either 10 bugs for every human or 100 or some ridiculously big number. There are lots of them. And because there's lots of them and they're small, they tend to get within the physical proximity of other humans, which isn't a problem for most humans because most humans, I would say, don't really like bugs and insects, but they don't freak out. They don't have full-on panic attacks and anxiety. If, however, you do, then avoidance doesn't work because the bugs are always going to find a way. There's always going to be, you know, kind of flies and insects and you name it around. So one of the causes is the fact of how they look. And then the second is the coping strategy itself self-perpetuates the anxiety, because if you're hypervigilant and you keep looking for insects, you're going to find them. So particularly because there's so many of them. So you tend to get this loop that feeds on itself that can be really distressing. The antidote is to think about bugs the way that people that don't have a phobia of bugs think about bugs. And that tends to be that they don't like them, but they can feel that they could resolve the situation if they needed to. And generally resolving a situation with a bug really comes down to three main things. And running away from them isn't it. Number one is to remove them from their proximity. So if there is a wasp or a stinging insect in a room, they might open a window and try and guide them out of the window. So removing them, or if it's a spider or a cockroach, you might be putting it in some kind of glass or tub and putting it outside. So removing them is a strategy. The second is killing them, which is an option. A lot of people don't like to do that because there's feeling that it's cruel to the animals and that kind of stuff. But it is something that some people do to resolve a situation with bugs. If there's a bug that they don't want to deal with, then they might hit it with a newspaper, something like that. And then the third is ambivalence. So a lot of people that don't have a fear of bugs will either not notice a bug or notice a bug in the corner of the room and simply not care, that is still a viable, effective coping strategy. Now, the reason why in this particular hypnosis session I don't use ambivalence as a resource state is because of the law of dominant effect. And that law of dominant effect says that you need a more intense emotion to displace a weaker emotion. So trying to displace severe anxiety with ambivalence isn't going to work, because ambivalence is a more intense emotion. But you can tap into a more intense emotion like, as we're going to use in this session, heroic courage. Now, heroic courage sounds very intense and it sounds very empowering, and that's just enough to be more intense than the anxiety to rewire a new neural pathway. To begin with, it's disassociated, then it becomes associated, and there's a couple of cases of regression to times where this client either saw the resource state in someone else, could be a fictional character, and then experienced it within themselves, and then saw the future version of them being heroic and having that courage and confidence, and then experienced what it's like to have that with the very trigger that used to cause anxiety. So there's a bit going on here. It will still be helpful even if your fear isn't bugs, because it still activates a resource state of heroic confidence and courage, but will be very useful if you have a fear of bugs and insects and things like that. If you are struggling with anxiety, I've worked with lots of different people in many different anxieties. I was crippled by anxiety in many ways. I was a recluse for almost a year when I was 19 years old. So I know anxiety firsthand because I've lived with it, and I've helped hundreds of people with anxiety. So if you want to have a chat with me to explore how maybe I could help you in your situation, there will be a link in the show notes to schedule a free 30-minute consultation call. But you may find that this session is actually helpful anyway. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, relax your eyelids and feel your eyes getting heavier and heavier as any tension leaves your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in a feeling of calm confidence, filling your body with that feeling of being calm and composed, and scan your body for any clues of tension, stress, or anxiety. So as you breathe out, feel that tension, anxiety is melting away and then leaving your body in that outward breath. So simply by breathing in and breathing out, you're able to feel breath by breath more and more confident and deeper relaxed. That's it. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine if a heroic level of confidence had a color, what color that would be. And whatever color comes to mind, that's exactly the color that heroic confidence should be. And as you breathe in, imagine breathing in that heroic confidence going in through your nose, into your lungs, filling your body with a feeling of heroic confidence. And as you exhale, any anxieties, any worries, any fears are melting away, and I want you to see a different color. Feel like it's leaving your body, perhaps a darker, grayer color. And as you breathe out, see that darker gray color leaving your body. And then on the next inward breath, that heroic color of confidence goes in. So every breath, you're feeling more and more confident and letting go of any fears, insecurities, worries, any tension. That's it. Deeper and deeper relaxed. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. Every breath feeling more and more confident, like a hero. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to think of someone that you would see as a hero. They could be a real person, a fictional character in a movie. But I want you to create an image or a movie in your mind's eye of someone that is full of that heroic courage and confidence. And when you can see that person just in your imagination, let me know by nodding your head. And then imagine stepping into that version, that person, and feeling that you can have the same body language, you can breathe in the same way, that their courage becomes your courage, that their confidence becomes your confidence, that you can feel that you have this insatiable level of heroic courage and confidence. And normally such an intense emotion has a location. So just point to where it feels like that courage and confidence is within you. That's it. And just expand that feeling. And maybe in that same location, it's the same color. The same color of that heroic confidence and courage that was being breathed in before. Or maybe it's something else. Just allow it to expand and grow. To start there, but go to every cell in your body that you feel invincible, courageous, confident. And I want you to remember a time in your life where you were courageous and confident, and feel like you're back in your body, but with all of this amplified courage and confidence. Imagine doing what you did back then, but with this even more intense feeling of courage and confidence. That in doing what you're doing, it creates even more courage, even more confidence. And when you've accomplished your mission, let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to take that same version of you, that heroic, courageous, confident version of you, and imagine you are now in where you live in the future. Maybe a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, or even a year from now, with that heroic courage and confidence. And I want you to imagine that you are seeing yourself like you're someone else with that heroic level of courage and confidence. But it's in the future, in your own home. And I want you to open your mind to powerful new ideas about what it means to see yourself with that heroic level of confidence and courage before you then experience that heroic level of courage and confidence in your own body, in your own home, in the future that awaits you. Breathing in and breathing out. And perhaps you're there, seeing that heroic version of you. And as you witness these small creatures, feel an empowering wave of heroism growing inside you, but also amplifying in that other version of you, standing tall and unfazed in their presence. There is nothing that can intimidate you, nothing that can create fear. In fact, the more of these bugs or creatures there are, the more courageous you become. And see yourself as someone that is calm and composed, almost serene, and feel that same experience within you. That if you were to see a bug or a small creature, you would be relaxed and at ease, breathing steady, and your heart not racing at all. See yourself with noble confidence. See that version of you approaching these creatures with a clear choice to make. Remove them, kill them, or let them be with complete indifference. And if you decide to remove them or kill them, notice the admirable steadiness of your hands, facial expression of someone resolved, composed, steadfast. See that version of you making the decision and then implementing that decision. And when you've seen that version of you successfully resolve a situation with a bug, maybe a cockroach, maybe a water bug, maybe a millipede, and you're confident that that heroic version of you can handle whatever bug or creature is in your home, let me know by nodding your head. And then step into that heroic version of you, so you are now in the first person, seeing things through your own eyes, feeling a wonderful sense of calm composure, confidence and courage. And discover that that sense of heroic composure is now your natural response, replacing old anxieties with a cool, calm, confident spirit. Accept the idea that you don't want these creatures in your home, but if they're there, you're willing to deal with them, and that their presence brings forth the hero in you, confident, calm, utterly unflappable. Nothing can make you anxious in this way of viewing things. And sometimes you can imagine doing it so often that it's almost like your composed response, this testament to your newfound courage, almost surprises you as you feel yourself in the future at just how calm and composed you can be. Avoidance didn't work. Taking action will. And even if you make the decision not to do something, you are still being decisive. It's not because you can't, it's because you're choosing not to waste your time or energy. Feel the gentle exhale of relief as the fear dissipates, replaced by a calm, heroic readiness. You, like any hero, can overcome adversity. The hero may slay the dragon. To you in the past, these were just as scary as a dragon, but no more. You will do whatever it takes to resolve these creatures in your space. Every encounter with them reinforces your gallant calmness, your poised assurance, sculpting you into a figure of composed confidence. And with each breath, feel an empowering calm emanating from within. shielding you against any flutter of anxiety, and instead replacing it with serene bravery. Feel how good it feels to be brave when seeing a cockroach close by. See it scurry and run, and notice it doesn't faze you. You will resolve it. See a centipede, a millipede. You hit it with a book, and it still continues to walk, and it just increases your resolve to either kill or remove this creature from your home. This tranquil assurance in your ability to deal with these creatures grows, building your heroic stature. And this transformation within you means that you can remember a time when you used to be anxious and scared, but not anymore. Now you feel a confident and composed version of you is just the default. It's who you are whenever there are creatures in your home or close proximity. And experience the soothing ripple of calm cascading through your body as you encounter bugs or small animals. Your resolve stronger than ever. And notice seeing an animal like that and feeling that your heart is not fast, a slow, steady beat, representing the confident courage as you effortlessly handle the presence of these creatures, feeling more and more heroic with each and every interaction. And each and every time you do it, you discover the reassurance in your ability to be unaffected, to be a beacon of calm, composure, whenever you find yourself in their presence, until one day comes along where you don't even need to be heroic. You don't need to be courageous, because you evaluate that this is too easy for you now. And at that point, you might notice them less and less. But still knowing that if you need to resolve the situation, you can. With every calm breath, know that that hero is always within, giving you a sense of unyielding confidence, but also peace and tranquility. As time goes on, imagine this has happened for a year now. A year of resolving any creature in your physical presence. And notice the empowering shift from fear to fearless composure. Each and every interaction meant less fear and anxiety and more calmness and confidence. And you can embrace the liberating calm, the serene confidence as you stand tall, undeterred, embodying the gentle heroism in facing these small creatures. And if your unconscious mind accepts that the future is a future where every interaction gives you more and more confidence, more and more evidence as to your ability to resolve these situations in the way in which you want, let me know by nodding your head. And then take that heroic courage, that bravery, that calm confidence, and return to the presence right now with all of those wonderful resources as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, feeling a sense of cool, calm composure and resilience. Weirdly looking forward to the next interaction with a bug to unlock that hero that is already within you. I will now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, confident, heroic, and unflappable. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9:10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.